Well, listen to these authors detail how they got Joe Biden's phone number and tried to schedule an interview for the book. And once the staffers caught wind of it, they literally changed Joe Biden's phone number. Watch.
The majority of Democrats did not want Joe Biden to run again for president. So the polling always said the party was not behind him. So you can imagine the party is not behind him right now either. I think there's, a lot of well wishes for his recent cancer diagnosis and concern for his health. But in terms of the future of the party, Joe Biden is not someone that's likely to have any role at all in that direction.
Were you surprised when he answered?
I mean, so the story about that is I called him, did not leave a message, and he called me back. And I answered and told him.
Sounds like something my dad would do. Sees a missed call. It's like, okay.
And I told him what I was doing, and he said he was open to having a conversation. Obviously, we talked. Our colleague, Josh Dawsey, went to Mar-a-Lago and interviewed Trump. We thought it was really important to have a conversation with Joe Biden as well. He seemed open to that. He told me to call him the next day, which I did. I was somewhat surprised he answered the next day. He was getting on an Amtrak train. We had a very brief conversation, and he had to get on the train. Seemed like he'd be open to continuing, and his aides made that all but impossible.
What makes what they said so funny is if Biden was under wraps like that, he was being controlled like that. I visualize him doing these New York Times interviews as him like running away and breaking free from his handlers, running and hiding for 10 minutes and calling somebody for help. I envision an old man who knows that he did something wrong and can't bear the burden of the guilt. And then when the handlers find him locked away in the closet talking to the New York Times, they snatch the cell phone, hang up, and change the phone number. It's honestly a pretty sad situation for him. I mean, we know Jill Biden, in her selfish motivations for power, was the one pushing her husband to serve when she, just like everybody else, knew that he wasn't up for it. So if you've been watching my videos and you're keeping score, the three big players we have right now, and I'm sure more will be added, are Joe Biden's chief of staff, Jill Biden herself, and Jill Biden's chief of staff. Now, Joe Biden's chief of staff is a relatively new guy. Jill Biden's chief of staff, however, is a very established Washington, D.C. guy and has a lot of power and influence. In fact, it was David Hogg, who was vice chair of the DNC at the time, who revealed on camera that it was Jill Biden's chief of staff who was the main puppet master. So that's where we're at with this whole thing, and I'm sure new developments will keep happening every day.